For those who prefer Linux or are simply curious about Linux and other open source technologies, this is Category 5 Technology TV.
Welcome to episode number 283 of Category 5 Technology TV. It is Tuesday, the 19th of February, 2013.
Hey.
Hey.
How's Robbie today?
I'm doing pretty good.
How's everybody out there in Cat 5 world? Hello?
Hey. How you been, man?
I've been all right. It was family day yesterday. What did you do?
It was. What did I do?
Besides the canaries. I saw the canaries.
We picked up a couple birds, which was something that we've wanted to do for some time for the kids and just for the overall atmosphere of the house. We love that.
You were thinking, geez, there's not enough background noise when I'm doing the show. Maybe we could... Canaries, that's what we'll get.
We got canaries, yeah. They've got a quiet, nice little chirp.
And I heard the cat.
Yeah, just sits there staring up at them. But so that's kind of what we did. I mean, I took the kids out in the morning. We got a fair bit of snow here, and over the past couple of weeks, we've been shoveling off the deck.
I noticed you hadn't shoveled the driveway. Oh,
I did, but you cannot keep up with that, and that's a whole other story. But in the back, we shoveled off the deck. And all that snow we piled up into a great big pile in the backyard, so they're able to actually go sledding in the backyard. So we did that Saturday morning, all three kids out there.
Okay, you did the sledding thing. I was going to do, and I shouldn't probably mention anybody's name, but there was a certain guy down in the States who has a pantload of money asking for the president's birth certificate. I was going to ask you for yours when you can't keep up with the driveway. Come on. How Canadian? Not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're out there shoveling every day, then? You probably have a snowblower.
I have a shovel. I have a shovel.
Listen to this. He's already doing the whole, when I was your age. When I was your age, I was out there with a shovel.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Oh, yeah. Well, all right.
Yeah. Push the button that says...
Yes, I've got this newfangled mouse, and I'm in big trouble.
He's learning his way around.
I touched a button on this. This is one dead sexy mouse, I'll tell you. It's, but
you got enough slack? I've been playing with it, so I've been using it on another system.
Finally, Robbie is cutting me a little bit of slack. Thank you.
So what's going on tonight?
I'm going to tell you what's going on in the newsroom.
Excellent.
That's what I'm going to tell you. Burger King's Twitter account was hacked with McDonald's branding.
Yikes.
11 people have been arrested in connection with a phishing scam worth millions.
And we're not talking about Family Day fishing here, folks.
No. There was a tournament on the bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it went very, very well.
I heard that, yeah. The iPhone trademark was registered to a Brazilian company 6 years before Apple.
Isn't that crazy? I want to hear about it.
Yes. Computer software has been developed to find long-lost languages. Yeah. The creator of the chroma key effect has died at age 96. Stick around. These stories are coming up later in the show.
Eric, if you've got your mobile device here, I recommend you turn it off. But for those of you at home, make sure you turn them on and visit m.cat5.tv. When you're on that site, of course, you'll be able to catch the show live. You'll be able to watch it on demand at any time. So very, very
You can see I turned off all the connections.
All the connections.
All the connections. The mobile network, the Wi-Fi, the mobile hotspot, which you really enjoyed when you had me up in Halliburton.
Brilliant stuff.
And my Bluetooth is turned off, so
excellent.
There, I've got it covered.
So,
are we having fun yet?
Oh, of course. Tonight we're going to be looking at the world's smallest computer.
Whoa.
Ooh. So stick around. We're going to be talking all about that. We've got your viewer questions. We're going to be looking at some data recovery options. Oh, what else have we got coming up? It's going to be a busy show. We've also got your questions in the mailbox. So
yes, we do. We could get to those pretty soon. Yeah,
join us in the chat room, please. Category 5 on Freenode.
All right. So, and Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. And the International Association of Internet Broadcasters. So, what do you think? You up for some questions already?
Well, first of all, I want to say welcome to all of our new viewers tonight.
How do you know there's a new viewer out there?
I know that Max is watching tonight.
Oh.
Maybe got a couple of friends as well that's watching with him. So,
did you ever watch Romper Room when you were little?
I did.
Because I remember the day she had her magic tennis racket, and she actually was looking through this and said, "And I see Eric," and Mom, whoa! I was pretty darn excited.
And you were hooked for life.
I'm still excited.
Yeah, and it's nice to see so many familiar faces joining us tonight as well.
And I see Johnny and
Scott and Invincible Mutant and Swiss Andy and Jot.
Yes, and Scott.
Yeah.
And Swiss Andy. Yes, yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's reading the same list that I've got up on my screen. Also, I don't know if you saw, but we've got a really cool website that's just been set up through YouTube, linuxtechshow.com, and on that website, you'll be able to see just clips of the show. It's kind of like the rebirth of The Meat, our old feature where, you know, the meat of each episode was turned into just individual little clips. So if we say something really, you know, that you think, oh, you know what, this would be really good for Mom.
If Robbie says something profound, you'll find it there.
If that happens. You can send that around, tweet it, like it. But one of the things, when you go to linuxtechshow.com, please, by all means, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to. You know, it is new. We just introduced it last week, so we want to start to see some subscriptions there, and we'd love to have you subscribing to that channel.
We would love that.
We will be getting into viewer questions, but not until later on in the show, Eric.
Okay.
Right now, we didn't get any postcards this week, which, you know, is always disappointing. We've had the discussion here where, you know, maybe we'll put all the postcards in a hat, and we'll pull one out once a week, and that person will get like a really super cool prize.
Whoa.
Just, we got to think of a way to encourage you to get your postcards in from all over the world. We've received quite a few. Those of you on Backstage Pass, you can see the great big wall over here covered in postcards. We love to receive them.
Yeah.
You can actually send those to us through the post. It's Category 5 Technology TV, P.O. Box 29009, Barrie, Ontario, Canada, L4N7W7.
Well done, Robbie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so like I said, we're going to be taking a look at the world's smallest computer, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back after this.
At Alkalines, we believe you should be able to trust your batteries not just here, but here, here, and here. But with one exception, you should also be able to trust your batteries here. Alkalines are the world's first and only certified carbon-neutral battery manufactured to the highest standards of recycling and quality, without any trace amounts of harmful chemicals like mercury, lead, or cadmium. Alkalines provide performance that rivals leading national alkaline battery brands at a comparable price. Find out more about the Alkalines difference. Alkalines.com.
Many of our viewers have been saying, hey, how's Major Tom? We haven't seen him in a while, and here you are talking about the birds. There he is, folks.
Wow.
Major Tom, a.k.a. Spacefish. You remember that Krista and I held a contest, seems like years ago, where we named the fish based on your votes. There he is. Major Tom. I think he's like the longest living beta or beta. As you would say. I did it for him.
You know, and it looks like beta the way it's spelled, but people say beta.
That's just weird.
I don't get that.
That's just weird.
Huh. Well, the folks in the chat room are saying hi to Major Tom. My goodness, there's David Bowie saying hi to Major Tom.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Huh. All
Eric,
right.
We've been looking at the NetTalk Duo Wi-Fi. It's a fantastic product. We've got one of these to give away with a full year subscription. So you get
fantastic.
A full year of unlimited phone calls. I mean, you're talking not just local calls, but anywhere in Canada or the U.S.
I'll tell you Robbie's cell phone number after the show.
Then you can call.
You can call.
What's cool about it, in addition to all that, of course, that's amazing. It's going to save you, like $900 a year in order to make that switch. Let's just say, hypothetical situation, you live in Canada or the U.S., you activate this on a local phone number.
Why do I have to think hypothetically?
I'm just using this for the viewer's sake, Eric. This isn't necessarily you. I know where you live. Do
we ship to China?
Well, the thing is that it's for Canada, U.S.
I know.
phone number.
I'll just
right?
let you go.
So
here.
yeah, you could get this in China, but you would end up with a Canada or a U.S. phone number, right? So there's the catch-22.
That's got to be a bit of a.
But
bonus.
here's the story. Here's what's really, really cool about it. You activate a Barry number, say. So now I've got my NetTalk Duo Wi-Fi. It works as a Barry number. Now I'm taking why not? Let's take a 1-month vacation to Europe, right? It's just a story, so it might as well be a month. So I take this with me. Now, wirelessly, through the hotel Wi-Fi, my home phone number works in Europe.
That's what you want when you're on vacation.
Anywhere.
Hey, Robbie, it's me.
Not necessarily.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
But you're talking no having to change your cell phone plan so that you've got like overseas dialing or anything like that. No having to pay these astronomical fees. You've already got internet at the hotel or wherever you're staying. So you connect your NetTalk Duo Wi-Fi. Now people can call your Barry phone number or wherever it is that you've activated it for, and it actually rings you overseas.
That is very cool.
And it's free. It's a local call for them, and it's an incoming call for you. Now, similarly, you're in the UK, and you've got a NetTalk Duo Wi-Fi that's activated for Canada, and so you could call somebody that's a local call to that device, or that's anywhere in Canada or US.
Hey, Robbie.
Think about that.
I'm somewhere in Europe.
You're in Europe. You make the call to anywhere in Canada or the US, and it's a local phone call. There's no long-distance calling.
That's very cool.
For that call. So we've got one of those to give away with the full year of service with all of the stuff that I've been discussing here, and it's got all the main features that you would expect from any phone provider, giving you the chance to literally fire your phone company, save yourself some money. All you have to do is go over to our website, cat5.tv/phone, and cast your ballot. Now, that's actually going to be happening next week. So 1 week from tonight, we're going to actually be announcing who the winner is. So we've got ballots just coming in like crazy. Make sure that your name is a part of that list as well. So
very cool.
cat5.tv/phone. Thanks to Becca tonight for the coffee. That's good coffee.
Thanks, Beck. Well done. Where are the cookies?
He always finds something to complain about. All right.
Nothing's ever good enough, is it, Robbie? Okay.
Eric, we've been talking on the show, and I do talk about it often enough that I really want to help viewers who encounter things like phishing scams or malicious emails, things that are going to trick them into providing information that they shouldn't. And so this week, something came in that's a little bit different, and we actually received a couple of emails here at the studio that really... It's astounding how real some of these things look. A phishing scam is an email or a website or something that pretends to be something else to trick you into actually providing your personal information.
Hi, I'm Robbie Ferguson. Tell me your password.
Last week, we actually demonstrated that it doesn't have to be a computer program. It doesn't have to be even on a computer. We can actually receive phishing scams by post as well. Yes. You could be walking through a mall and someone's handing out flyers, and for all you know, those could be phishing scams. Who knows? I got a really, what I would call a scary one this week, because when I walked into the house, of course I carry my iPod Touch in my pocket. It's just my mobile kind of device, and whenever I'm within reach of Wi-Fi, suddenly I start getting my email. So I entered the house, and ping, I got an email. So I looked at it, and lo and behold, I got an email that absolutely seriously looked like it was from PayPal. We've never touched on this before. Whenever we've looked at phishing scams, we've always looked at it from the approach of you're sitting at your computer, you can see the address bar, you can kind of figure it out that way by hovering your mouse over a link. A mobile phone, or a mobile device in my case, you don't have that advantage. You don't have a mouse that you can hover over a link to see in the status bar whether it's the legitimate site or not. So I'm going to show you this actual email that came in. There it is. That's on my iPod Touch. And here's what was scary about it. It looks absolutely legitimate.
Except for the fact you probably didn't have that much money in your bank.
That's well. Here's the scary thing. Okay.
Oh.
I know that I don't have that much money in the bank account. It's saying that I've paid $4,200 out. So PayPal is a transient account. I never carry that much money in my PayPal account. So what do? Just in case I ever need access to money in PayPal, I've connected my bank account to that PayPal account. Most people do that. And that's fine to do, and it's safe to do. It's like any online banking transaction or connection. It works really, really well, and they make it safe. But this was scary because I knew that connection was in place. So if I don't have that money in PayPal, what is it going to do? It's going to actually take that money out of my personal bank account. And you'll see, if you look closely at the email, it says, looks completely legitimate. Dear PayPal user, you sent a payment of $4,200 USD to this Boyd Morin. Please note that it may take a while, blah, blah, blah. And there's a link. Click here to view the transaction. The payment was sent using your bank account. By using your bank account to send money, you just paid easily and secure. See how it's using manipulative wording to make you think that this is really PayPal. It's secure. It's safe.
Yeah.
Right? This is all to trick you into thinking, wow, this has actually happened. And for a moment, when I walked in the door, I saw that. It looks absolutely real on my device.
That's
your heart
a good-looking one compared to many
really
of them.
good.
You know, grammatically, it's not messed up like so many of them are.
Yeah, it's got a transaction ID. It looks very, very much like a legitimate PayPal email that you would expect to receive. So what the average user would do is, of course, click on your transaction ID to find out more, or with your finger, touch view the details of this transaction online. Now, my screenshot you can't scroll down on. But below that, there were actually more links. Click here for more information about this, and it looks really, really legitimate. Now, sorry.
I've known people who've actually clicked on a link and given their information.
Absolutely, unknowingly.
Yeah.
Because what I did, and here's what you should do too when it's in question, if you're not absolutely certain. I went immediately to my computer. I went to PayPal.com and I logged into PayPal and I checked to see if there was a transaction showing for $4,200, and there wasn't. So immediately I was suspicious that, this email is probably not even real.
Right.
So then I logged into my email from my computer, and then I was able to hover over the email links that were shown in that email, and I realized, nope, this is not PayPal at all. It's directing to some other website, but the links look legitimate. If you see in your email, https://paypal.com/whatever, you think that that's really PayPal, but then when you hover over that link, you realize
may not actually be the hyperlink.
That's right. That's just text. I mean, I can make it say anything. I can make it say, click here for more. I can make it say https://paypal.com. So it's when you hover over it on your computer, it shows you in the status bar what that link is actually going to take you to, and that's what you need to be mindful of. So that's the PayPal one that I got this week. Now, I also received one from FedEx, lo and behold. And just to show you that these things are really, It said
it was from FedEx. He didn't receive it from FedEx.
It was not from FedEx. Yes,
just
exactly.
Don't want the FedEx.
And this makes it hard on those companies, too. I mean, what's the first thing that a million people do is they send an email to PayPal, right? Heather, you were mentioning that you were in the same kind of situation, received something that seemed suspect. So the first thing that you do is you send an email to the provider, the actual provider, be it PayPal, FedEx, and say, I got this email. Is this real? What is it? Why are you sending me this? Blah, blah, blah. So from a business standpoint, of course, it means that they're probably receiving a number of those emails, and they're having to explain that it's not actually them, and that can cause problems with business too, right?
Yeah.
So if we look at, now I'm going to bring up this one that I received from FedEx. Let's see here. Okay. Again, this one looks very, very legitimate. It looks like a FedEx tracking number and a FedEx email that says, your parcel has arrived. The courier was unable to deliver the parcel to you, and it has that day's date and the time, and it says, to receive your parcel, please print the receipt and go to the... So what do you think? See, that's what I'm talking about. The links can say anything. Look at that print receipt. Now, if I hover over that, I don't know if you can see this at home. Hopefully, if you're watching in HD, you'll see that is actually going to
on their Vital
or some other website that is absolutely nothing to do with FedEx. So if I click that to print the receipt, again, it's tricked me into doing something that we're not supposed to, and that can cause some really big problems. We've got a special delivery here tonight. Hey, Rachel Shue.
Hello there.
Sneaking you something.
I said I wanted cookies. This is pretty good, though.
These guys are not even. Apparently, we need to get.
They should become a sponsor, shouldn't they?
So Timmy's.
Rachel is working for Tim's. That's what the deal is here.
You talk.
You want me to talk? You mean I can't eat? Actually, you mentioned phishing scams that actually aren't computer ones, and
right.
I mean, a friend of mine. This is a computer thing, but he had a reputable antivirus program on his computer. He got a phone call saying, "Oh my goodness, you've got viruses on your computer. We need you to log in right now." And he's new at computers, and he believed them because he actually had this particular brand. Yeah. They had him. He gave them everything but his social insurance number, just because he believed them. And and as soon as he talked to me, I said, "Go to your bank, do this." Like he had to cancel bank accounts, credit cards. It was. He didn't actually end up losing a pile of money or anything, but it was just an absolute total lie from the get-go, but it sounded legit. And
absolutely. They are good.
And
phishing scams are very realistic. I'll give you another story.
You want to be somewhat skeptical by nature is really useful.
You kind of have to be, and it's all about just having that knowledge and knowing how to check on things. And I've said it before. If you're in doubt, if you doubt that it could be. If you think it could be something malicious, pop us an email, live@category5.tv, and we'll take a look at it for you. I had one, Eric, that reminded me how phishing scams can happen over the phone. I actually got a call from a customer who was, I'll say, smart enough to consult, smart enough to find out, is this legitimate? They actually called me up and they said, "I've got Microsoft on hold on the other line." I was like, okay, yeah.
No, they put you on hold. You don't put them on hold.
They're telling me that I need to give them my password to get into my computer because they're calling me up. Microsoft, okay, not really Microsoft.
Yes.
Microsoft makes a cold call and says, "This is Microsoft calling. We see that you're running Windows 7. Yeah, I am. Okay, well, that's, how many percentage of people, so great. But you already automatically trust them. Okay, so you're running Windows 7. We have just discovered an exploit, which is very, very serious. It can't be fixed by your virus scanner, and we need to get this fixed immediately. Now, as a service to our customers, because you've purchased our software, you're using Microsoft Windows, we're offering a free service to fix that for you online, or you can bring it into your local computer shop and you can pay the bill. It'll probably be about $150 for you to do that. So would you like to do that, or would you like us to? We'll send you a piece of software and you can actually we'll connect in and we'll take care of the problem for you. 9 times out of 10, the user who is unknowing says, "Oh, okay, well, no, I'm at my computer right now. I'll be happy to let you in." So this customer of mine, of course, had that happen, and fortunately had called me at the same time. So then, of course, they get the remote administrative software. They get in, they install a rootkit or something that is going to allow them to access your computer even when you're not at your computer. Something that would add you as a part of a botnet, steal your keystrokes, which would possibly take your credit card information, things like that, your login information for certain services as you type them into your keyboard. So that kind of stuff can be really, really scary. I, in fact, received that very phone call from Microsoft.
It's MIKROSOUGH.
And I didn't have time to really play with them, but I could. I would love to sit down and play the novice user and pretend that I'm walking through all the steps and just see where they go with it. But I'm a Linux user. So even if they sent me their Windows tool to hack into your system, it's not going to do anything, most likely, because I'm on Linux, and so I'm a little bit more safe. But it made it kind of ironic that they were calling me and saying...
Well, that's kind of like back to another email one where, you're dealing with one bank.
Yeah.
And, sometimes you'll get an email, and it'll say, say you deal with Scotiabank, it'll say it's TD. But every once in a while, they actually get the right bank.
it's hit or miss.
So and it looks good. The graphics are right, and you know, if you're not wary, you may
might get
click
that
on
email
something.
from PayPal.
Yeah.
And you don't use PayPal, so you immediately think, "Oh, that's suspect," right? So you just delete it. But somebody like me who heavily uses PayPal on a regular basis, and you know, all of our donations come through PayPal, so you know, the immediate fear is, "Oh, well, what happens if that money were lost?" Because that was been graciously donated by our viewers.
Right. Actually, I was going to see if we could start a campaign to buy me a Z10 or a Z10 if you're in the no.
There you go.
Oh.
So
Yacht, or Jot, says he reports all phishing links to http://fishtank.com, and that's with a PH.
Cool.
I'm not familiar with that site, but
283.
283.
Very good. Comes to us from Jot, a reliable source.
Well, I don't know.
To kind of summarize the conversation here, folks, just be very, very wary when you open something that you're not absolutely sure of. Watch when you're clicking on links. Make sure you forward something over to us if you're not too sure, and we'll be happy to look into it for you.
Very wary.
Mm-hmm. Very wary.
That could be very difficult for certain cultures to say. Sorry. Where are we now?
Very good. I received this in the mail this week. And Carly, I know you're watching.
Hi, Carly.
Hey, Carly.
Is that iCarly? No.
These things can be great. They can be horrible at the same time. These are mini DVDs.
I have taken apart a whole laptop to get one out again.
To get one out?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't in there.
It was an
sitting
Apple.
Just right? Oh, dear. Okay. Well, here's the thing. These are quite often used for what? Video cameras that take mini DVDs, right? But if a user is filming something and then ejects that DVD without first closing it, you take that DVD home and it will not play. For the life of you, it will not play. You know that it's recorded on there, but there's absolutely no way to get it to play. So Carly sent this in, and I guess Carly was watching the show when we were talking a couple weeks ago about the fact that DVDs, CDs are a dangerous way to store your data because they degrade over time and they will eventually lose your data. So when she popped this into her DVD player and it didn't play, of course, immediately she thinks, oh no, the DVD has degraded. Well, I've got good news for you, Carly. I took a look at this with DD, which is a copying software in Linux. And when I did that...
It stands for disk destroyer? No.
It doesn't. Nobody really knows what it stands for. Disk duplicator,
direct dub, yeah.
Whatever. Using that tool, I was able to copy the entire DVD to my hard drive without fail. So there were no bad problems with this. Degradation was not your problem. What had happened is that the disc was removed from the camera without first being finalized. So there's nothing but that camera that can now play that, because the disc is not converted to DVD.
This isn't a phishing scam, but send us your camera, please. No, sorry.
So I looked into how we could fix this for you, and I found some software, and you know, it's $50, $100 to get this special software.
Please send that via PayPal.
Yeah. But that's not good enough for us.
Okay.
Sorry, Eric.
Sure.
I know. He's looking for a new phone. So, yeah. Now maybe there's a chance. Okay, so what I did is I thought, okay, well, we're Linux fans here. We're fans of open source. What would happen if I ran this through Test Disk? Test Disk, of course, being free software, which includes Photo Rec. It's photo recovery, but Photo Rec uses a sector by sector.
So it doesn't rec photos, it's...
REC, recovery, right? So what I'm going to do here, Carly, live on the air, we're going to see if this is possible. I've got my computer screen up here.
We're going to see all your pictures.
I'm going to go into the terminal. And folks, if you've got one of these disks that you're unable to read, here's what we want to do. I'm going to go into... Now, first of all, you need to make sure that you have test disk. So you go sudo apt-get install test disk in Linux. Okay? Enter your super user password, and you'll see that I already have this installed. It's already the newest version. So for me now, I'm going to type in photo rec, R-E-C. It tells me I need to enlarge the terminal, so let's do that. There we go. So Photo Rec is free software. Remember, we were looking at software that could be $50 or $100. Now we're looking at this from a different perspective. I'm going to go sudo to become super user.
Compare at
Yeah, comparable at however much money. So when I do that, I'm actually seeing the 2 hard drives that I have in my computer. Unfortunately, for the sake of the demonstration, I was hoping that it would detect the disk. I thought that I had it in the drive. It seems that I do not, but I'm just going to let you know. Using that software, what it does is it goes through sector by sector. Now, even a disk like this, you got to remember that the data is on there. The video is on there. It's just that it's not in a format that's readable. So what I was able to do is use PhotoRec, browse to the disk itself. I'm gonna just see if I can eject this and get access to it. I was kind of hoping to show you. And it doesn't look like I do have access to that disk, unfortunately.
Did you sudo?
Yeah. But using PhotoRec, you can recover sector by sector any files that are on a disk, even if the disk is not finalized. So having done that, Carly, I was able to find an MPEG file on your disk, which is video. And the video was about 1 hour and 20 minutes long-ish. And I've copied that onto another media for you. So for absolutely free of charge now, from looking at possibly $50 to $100, Test Disk, which is a Linux tool, saved the day. Was able to actually copy the data right off of that disk, absolutely no problem, and very, very quickly as well. So so I was quite pleased about that, but I wanted to share that with you, the viewers, because maybe you've got media where, you know, it could be anything. Test Disk is able to read CD, hard drive, anything that it can get physical access to, a flash drive for your camera. You know, if you've taken a whole bunch of pictures and then the battery dies, all of a sudden you can't access your flash drive. You plug it into the computer, bring up PhotoRec, browse to it, and just walk through the steps, and it will do it. With this particular case, using these disks in Linux in PhotoRec, I just chose all the default options. It's like a standard formatted disk because we know it's ISO because it's a DVD. So just walk through the prompts, and it copied everything to my computer. So good to go. Saved. Thanks to Linux.
Some of the backstage folks here are thinking that young Rachel looks bored watching your dance. Oh, and Jot said it's odd that she brought food. Normally she just comes to eat it.
Thanks, Jot. All right, we've got to get into the news. So
yeah, I'm scared. You know, this mouse has me scared now. There are 87 buttons, and there, we found it. All right, we can do this.
Da 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 da.
Well, here are the top stories from the Category 5.tv newsroom. Burger King has said its Twitter account may have been hacked after its profile picture was changed to a McDonald's logo. The background picture on the account showed fish McBites, and some posts contained racial slurs, obscenities, and references to drugs. The firm says it asked Twitter to suspend the account, but today has regained control of its account. The malicious defacement by a disgruntled employee, perhaps? Or could it be a risky yet genius marketing tactic driving hundreds of thousands of users to Burger King's Twitter account overnight? We may never know.
That's an interesting point. And I see that there are 83,000 followers in the screenshot of when the hack took place. And I know that they were well over 100,000 today.
Oh, so, my.
Tens of thousands of people following them now. Could be.
Could be. Spanish authorities, working with the European Union's law enforcement agency, have arrested 11 people from Russia, Georgia, and Ukraine, shutting down one of the phishing scams which we have warned about. Software planted on targeted machines accused the user of having viewed illegal content. It then told the user to pay a fine before continuing to use the machine. A Europol statement said, by dressing the ransomware up to look as if it comes from a law enforcement agency, cybercriminals convinced the victim to pay the fine of €100, that's $130 or approximately 85 pounds, through two types of payment gateways, virtual and anonymous, as a penalty for the alleged offense. The criminals then go on to steal data and information from the victim's computer.
Oh, so it's not just money.
No.
Ooh.
But does anyone fall for this type of thing? Apparently so. The authorities estimate that the revenue being generated by this ransomware was in excess of €1 million per year. Wow. Brazilian regulators have ruled that Apple does not have exclusive rights to the iPhone trademark in that country. But the U.S. tech giant has already lodged an appeal against the decision with the Brazilian regulators. The ruling is a result of a local company, Gradient Electronica, registering the name in 2000. 6 years before the U.S. firm. Apple can continue to sell iPhone-branded handsets in Brazil, but the decision means that Gradient has an option for suing the exclusivity in South America's biggest market.
Wow.
Wow.
It kind of reminds me of back in the day I used to work with a project called iOS. And then, of course, Apple came along, and now iOS is their operating system, and don't tread on that. But,
hey, you know, the Beatles owned the Apple, and there was a thing with
it's all about patents. All about patents.
A new tool has been developed that can reconstruct long dead languages. Researchers have created software that can rebuild proto-languages, the ancient tongues from which our modern languages evolved.
Fantastic.
To test the system, the team took 637 languages currently spoken in Asia and the Pacific and recreated the early language from which they were descended.
Neat.
From a database of 142,000 words, the system was able to recreate the early language from which the modern tongues derived.
We're talking about reverse engineering a language.
Yeah, that's pretty
cool.
While researchers are able to reconstruct languages that date back thousands of years, there is still a question mark over whether it would ever be possible to go even further back to recreate the very first proto-language from which all others evolved, or whether such a language even exists. Wow.
Neat.
Is that a language I'm looking at?
It is.
What's it say? A pioneer in the visual effects industry, Petro Vladil. I better get this correct. You going to help me here? Petro Vlahos has died at the age of 96.
Now,
the techniques he developed.
We're going to pay homage here as you explain what it is that he did. I'm just going to hold this thing behind you.
The techniques he developed allow filmmakers to superimpose actors. Man, it's warm. Actors and other objects against separately filmed backgrounds, usually a green or blue screen. The process is known as chroma key. He developed the procedure for 1959's Ben-Hur and then went on to win an Oscar in 1964 after creating a related process for Disney's Mary Poppins. Is that how she flew? I thought it was real. The death of the 96-year-old was announced by the company he founded, Ultimat.
Wonderful.
Well, that was fun, Rob.
That was the worst example of chroma key in the world.
Here. Can we do that again?
That's my fault.
I want to do that again.
The top stories from the Category 5.TV newsroom.
I'm going to get buried in the sand. Sorry.
So how can they get the top stories?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Am I still attached?
What have you done?
Well, I've lost my mic clip.
Okay.
We're still here.
Yeah, we're live, Eric.
We are live. That's how this happened. If we were done in the studio, we would have cut that out. Sorry. Get the full stories at category5.tv/newsroom. The Category 5.tv newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash with contributions by our community of viewers. If you have a news story you think is worthy of on-air mention, email newsroom@category5.tv. For the Category 5.tv newsroom, I'm Eric Kidd.
Eric, tonight's show is brought to you in part by CorderyElectric.com. They are powering our lights. Thank you very much. And make sure you check them out, CorderyElectric.com. Also, get a free trial of Netflix at cat5.tv/Netflix. We'd love to have you check it out. And we're going to show you a device tonight that's actually going to allow you to watch Netflix on your TV.
Whoa.
The world's smallest computer.
Let's get to it and at it.
Want to take a look?
I'd like to take a look.
Can you imagine a computer that fits in this here box?
That there box?
This here box is a full, let's see the specs here. This is a dual-core processor computer with 1 gig of RAM, 8 gigabytes of built-in memory. It's a quad-core OpenGL ES 2.0 AMD Z430 GPU. For those of you in the know, you're like, whoa! That's big for something so small. It's got, and it supports up to 32 gigabytes of memory, You stick a micro SD card in there. They've got you covered. It's got built-in BGN Wi-Fi. This particular model, this is the MK8023S, which you can read all about by going to the website cat5.tv/minipc. Get over to that to find out. This particular model also has Bluetooth.
Whoa.
So we're going to look at what that means to us in a little bit. It supports Macromedia Flash, or Adobe Flash, I should say.
You're old, eh?
Me back.
You're old.
I mean,
Macromedia. Wow, that's a couple of years back.
I want to take this out of the box and show you why this is so cool. Don't go to the site just yet, because then you'll know.
Okay.
I got to show you. You ready?
It costs $8 million.
Okay, world's smallest PC, folks. People were saying, what is it? What is it? Here it is. This is the Rikomagic MK8023S.
That is pretty cool.
Let's get this out of the box. Unboxing music, please. Ding, ding, ding.
That didn't sound like unboxing music. I'm not going to go there, but...
This is it. That's it. It's a little bit bigger than the size of a flash drive, a USB flash drive. It kind of looks like a USB flash drive.
Smaller than a Bold.
Smaller than a Bold. There you go. I want to tell you what's so cool about this. You take a look and tell me what you see.
Okay.
It looks like it's got a USB. You plug it into something, right?
We plug it into something, but...
Plug it into something. Here's the thing.
What?
Picture of USB flash drive where you plug it into USB.
Okay, we have USB port.
Now this one, instead of USB on the end, it has a plug for HDMI.
HDMI?
So we're plugging this directly into your HD TV. And it becomes a computer connected into your television set. Just like that.
Okay.
As I mentioned, this is a multi-core computer. It's running, out of the box, it's running Android 4.1. So we know that it's a good, operating system from Android. There it is. Let's actually take a look. I have pre-shot some video just because I wanted to actually be able to hold this in our hands and show it to you. And Eric and I are going to go through the video with you.
We'd do it live, but we'd have to take the cameras offline.
Yeah, we'd have to let it walk around, and there you go. So let's take a quick look at this. This is the Rikomagic Mini PC, cat5.tv/Mini PC. Now, for basic setup, now that's a close-up of what it looks like. So you can see the HDMI port on the left there, and around the other side, we've got a power input, which is USB. We've got a USB port to be able to connect peripherals to it. You can see just how absolutely small it is. Just look at that. So you put this in behind the TV, and you're not even going to know it's there.
Your kids will know it's there.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to actually plug this into an HD TV here. And you'll see, okay, now I'm actually having trouble getting it in. And they've thought of this because some televisions are not going to allow you to plug in something that's got such a wide kind of chassis to it. So they've provided you with a short little extension cord that will just simply allow you to plug that in directly to the back of your TV. So straight into HDMI. Now we need to power it, so we're going to do that through USB. So I'm plugging a USB cord in here to the power port. And then we're going to actually plug the other end into the service port on the television to be able to provide power to that device. Now let's fire it up for the first time. There we go. Out of the box, it's preset for 720p and actually supports up to 1080p at 60 frames a second, and that's our first screen. So, how cool is that?
That is very cool.
Easy
A couple of folks
setup.
in the chat room even said that's very cool.
You see how quick and easy that was to set up?
Yeah.
Just like that. Just breezy, breezy, breezy. So I actually wanted to take it kind of to the next level. You need to have a look at this. I mean, that's unbelievably cool. This is what's interesting, I think, about this time that we're living in, is that computers at one point got bigger and bigger and faster and faster.
Didn't we have a whole room full of computer just to do fairly simple calculations?
Yeah. So now things are getting so incredibly small, and it's a good thing. It's really changing the way that we look at computing and how we do computing. You think about, do you need to go out and buy a new TV to be able to have internet on your TV? Well, no.
So that's our mini SD card.
Yeah, you've got a micro
couple of
SD
mini USB.
Yeah, exactly. You do have just one USB connector. The other USB is for power, and then one to connect it to do firmware updates.
One's for DC,
like that.
Right?
Yeah. So now I'm just fixing my shot here so it doesn't loop. This device, believe it or not, okay, we're going to look a little bit closer at it, but is only around $60 to $70.
Wow.
And it's a full computer. It's cheap. It gets the job done. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the specs. It does 1080p HD video, as I was saying. It will support HD on YouTube if you want to watch your Netflix videos, things like that. Because it's powered by Android 4.1, you can get into the Google Play Store, download as many apps as you want. Anything that you can do on your tablet is now available.
So all the stuff I have on my tablet,
it's up on the big screen TV.
Very cool.
To take it one step further, you get your tablet or your smartphone that's Android based. You install the free app, and now that device becomes the remote control for your television, for the Rikomagic device. It actually becomes you can see the remote on the screen, and you can actually control it like that. On your tablet, you can it's a big button kind of thing.
Okay, so I've got an Android tablet. I can take that.
You can actually make it the controller for that.
Very cool.
So what's up on the screen, you can push play on your tablet, and it will play up
So if I don't have that, how am I controlling this?
That's the thing. We've got a couple of different options. First of all, the Rikomagic Air mouse. So this I can actually hold in the air, and I can control just by pointing at things on the screen. Very much like a Wiimote, if you will. It's just a simple remote and should do the job well. Now, unfortunately, the particular device that we received as a review unit is non-functional.
Oh,
but I have.
But it looks good.
It looks good, and I have seen videos of this working, and it's a rather impressive device, and that's available off of their website as well. So next up, of course, now it's USB. You can plug in a mouse. We're going to see that I actually ended up using just a Logitech wireless mouse, and just plugged in the receiver to the USB on the Rikomagic device, and then I was able to use my wireless mouse kind of idea. But then what do we know about the device already? It's got Bluetooth.
Right.
Aha! So that means we can use headsets, wireless devices, things like that, and wireless micro keyboards. Imagine that, a full QWERTY keyboard as your remote control.
So I can be sitting in my lazy boy or lazy butt.
You would be.
My lazy butt chair, and
something like this. This is just a mini keyboard, not directly associated with Rikomagic at all, but they do have similar devices available on their website as well that you can purchase. But this is a fantastic way to control it.
Yeah.
Now, you can get a full-size keyboard, of course, but most of you are going to want to use this for multimedia predominantly. I mean, that's what you're going to be using it for because it's on your big screen TV. But this allows you to actually use it for internet and surf around, actually type some stuff and do emails and things like that on a full QWERTY keyboard. Plus, it's got the mouse trackpad as well with left and right click and all that kind of stuff. So there are many, many different ways that you can control the thing because it's limitless. It's USB. It's Bluetooth.
Impressed.
So, but then we run into the fact that it only has one USB port.
Right.
Well, that's not a problem. Right?
USB hub, perhaps? No?
Right, but we're going to look at that and think, okay, well, what's going to happen if we plug in a hub? We're going to plug in a device and another device, and we're pulling all the power off of the service jack on the back of our TV.
Right.
We've got maybe a couple of amps if we're lucky. And this device, I'll just tell you, it's not in the manual, but it is a 2-amp device. So you need to have a dedicated 2-amp power going to that. So if it's the only device and you're not plugging in peripherals, then that's probably okay to plug it into the back of your TV or into a computer's USB port. But what happens if we want to plug in devices to that is it's going to be drawing more ampage.
Okay.
If we plug in a webcam to it, it's going to be drawing more power. If we plug in a mouse, it's going to be drawing more power. So that is where the newer technology 7-port USB 2.0 hub comes in.
Whoa.
What is cool about this is we're going to take a close look. Not only is it a USB powered hub, but it actually has a dedicated 2.1 amp output. So by connecting our Rikomagic mini PC to the 2.1 amp power output, it has dedicated power. So no matter how many devices we plug into this, it will never go less than 2.1 amps. Right. So you know that your device is always going to be well powered. If it goes below 2.2 amps, right, which would be the case if you plugged it into the service port and then plugged a bunch of devices into it, you could have stability issues and things like that because there's not enough power for the device. So this from newertech.com is available for under $30, like 25 to $30. So definitely highly recommend that as a companion to this product. We'll take a look at how I actually set this up in a more advanced setup using this hub from Newer Technology. So what I actually did is I've got this this USB hub, and you'll see it's got, what, 5 USB 2.0 ports, plus we've got the 2.1 amp dedicated port and a sync port, and of course the input for power and USB. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug in the Rikomagic into the 2.1 amp, and that is strictly power. This is what's cool too, is it's not going to feed back any data. It's strictly power. So now I'm plugging in the Rikomagic to the power, which is the dedicated 2.1 amp from Newer Technologies port hub. And now here's where things get really cool. Now we want to actually replicate that single USB port on our Rikomagic device. So we're going to actually connect the data input on the Newer Technology USB 2.0 hub. We're going to plug that into the USB port for devices on the actual mini PC. So now you see what we're doing. Because that one is just power, we're not creating any kind of feedback loop or anything like that. We're actually giving it dedicated power, and now we have replicated it to give us 5 ports. This is the actual USB receiver for the Air mouse. So I'm plugging that in there. And I actually went about plugging in my Logitech receiver as well. So even with my mouse and everything, I've still got 4 ports that are ready for me to use. So, and you can set this up a little neater. We're just doing this for the sake of demonstration. This is the Air mouse as I showed you just a moment ago, and unfortunately didn't work in my test because it is just a demonstration model. This is the power cable. You're going to need that for your Newer Tech hub, and that is what's going to actually power the device and power all of the devices that are connected in, so it's not drawing any power from the Rikomagic device. Set up, she looks like that, and at the back of the TV set, there you go. Very, very simple to connect. Very easy to put everything together. And it looks clean. You likely won't even see that it's even there. So
I will know.
You will know. So now we're going to fire it up with this particular configuration. And now I'm actually going to show you how this thing looks once it's up on the screen. Definitely cool. Keep in mind, this is an appliance, so you're not going to have to go through this boot up process any more than the first time that you use it, kind of thing. You're going to leave it running most of the time, I think. So you can see my Air mouse, unfortunately, simply didn't work. I would have liked it to work, and I would have loved to be able to show that to you. But what I did, see, no response. So that, of course, has nothing to do with the product itself. It's just the particular Air mouse that I received. So instead, I switched over to the Logitech, just standard computer Wi-Fi mouse, plugged it into the USB hub, and you'll see that, yeah, give it a go. Works absolutely perfectly. This device has a built-in, it's the wireless full-size keyboard as well. So you're able to type on the screen, type when you bring up websites and things. So how brilliant is that? So we'll get a real close look here at the operating system. This is Android 4.1. First thing you need to do is set up your Google account, which you do quite. I'm just speeding things up there just to get us in. And having a Google account, of course, means that you can install apps through the Google Play Store. And in a lot of cases, those are going to be available for you free of charge. So I'm going to do a quick search. First thing I want to personally install is Netflix, just so that I can, this is connected to my TV. I want to make sure that it's available, that I can watch my shows directly on my TV. So with this $60, $70 device, now I've got Netflix connected to my HD TV set box, and it's up and going, just like that. So Netflix, cat5.tv/Netflix to get the free trial. You get that coupled with this. Good to go. It is an Android device, So, it automatically, the hardware is compatible with Linux. So did a little bit of checking, and somebody has actually been successful in porting Ubuntu Linux to this device. So if you'd like, you can actually flash it. You can dual boot it. You can get Ubuntu Linux on there. I think it's 12.04. It's an ARM-based chip, so it's a special version that, it's not the one that you download off their website, but it is available through the forums at cat5.tv/minipc. You'll find it there, and I'll also post links in the show notes for episode number 283. Just an interesting little tidbit as a Linux lover myself. But Android is a fantastic OS for doing this kind of thing, connecting to your television screen. It's got web browser right out of the box. Netflix is easy to install. And I wanted to kind of test the actual product itself, and I'm a bit of a sucker for visual appealing elements, and Android is pretty gorgeous operating system.
That is one cute little Android.
It is, yeah. One of the things that I love is enhancing my dash with live wallpaper. So I did a quick search for just simply beach live wallpaper, because it's a beach scene right out of the box, and I thought, yeah, maybe I'll see if there's a live wallpaper version that I could install. So grab that. Live wallpaper, of course, allows you to do some really cool things. Take that scene and actually make it animated in the background. The out of the box ones, they perform fantastically. The device itself is super fast. The GPU is quite incredible for the size of this thing. There you go. So as that installs, there we go. Now that it's installed, I can bring up live wallpaper again, and you see that the beach scene is there. I can activate that and get away from the old static desktop wallpaper. Just a little bit of a coolness factor. So,
wow.
There you go. You can just like Android, remove it from the dash by dragging it up to the X, and you're good to go. So pretty simple to get everything up and running. Really, really easy to get this thing operational. The performance is exceptional, and it is an incredibly small device.
So with your USB hub, could you attach an external drive for?
I am not sure on that. I think so.
Download all your stuff, or?
I'm trying to think of if I had done that with, because it's Android, and if you plug in an external hard drive, you'll get access to the photos and things like that. So it's going to be exactly the same situation. Basically, it's all just self-contained. So what you would find in a 10-inch tablet is now in this little device with full 1080p support at 60 frames a second, granted. Right. So you're talking about this is a full HD.
This is the innards without the display and the touchscreen and all that sort of stuff.
So because how many tablets are 1080p? True. Right?
True.
So, I mean, if you put videos on it, plug them in, stick them on a flash drive, and connect it, then you'll be good to go.
Cool.
Cool stuff?
Cool stuff.
Pick it up at cat5.tv/minipc. Don't forget, get the companion hub. This is from Newer Technology at newertech.com. Is where you want to get that. So altogether, you're looking at under $100, unless you want to get the keyboard or some other controller. But you've probably got something you can use at home, and you'll be able to plug that in.
My PS2, no
PS2, but your USB keyboard. Even if you want to go wired, I mean, why not? But your phone,
I'm wired half the time. Oh,
your tablet, you can use that as a controller as well, which is actually really cool. I would have loved to show you that tonight, but unfortunately we're limited to how much time that we have. But so check that out.
So this Netflix, you're pretty much
set.
Yeah.
Category5.tv. You get onto the
Bring
website.
me another lemonade and away I go.
I tested it with our website. It came up beautifully. It worked flawlessly. The video played great. No lag. Video just plays exceptionally well on this. So very, I'm impressed. You will be too. Go get yourself one. Makes a great gift.
Thank you.
cat5.tv/minipc. Okay, next week, Eric, you're not going to be here.
Why not?
Because it's Hillary's week.
So?
Next week.
So?
And we are going to be actually giving away the 1-year subscription to NetTalk Duo, so you'll be able to replace your phone line. Don't forget about that. Get your ballot in. cat5.tv/phone is where you need to go for that.
We will have Timbits. They'll be today's Timbits, but we'll give those away next week,
they'll
too.
Be very, very stale. No, we're eating those tonight, folks. If you sent in viewer questions this week, very sorry that we ran out of time, but we love having you here. Greetings again to all of our viewers tonight live on YouTube and those who are watching after the fact through however you watch. Make sure you send us an email live at category5.tv. We will dedicate some time next week and make sure that we get your questions on it. So.
Sorry, I was going to repeat Swiss Andy's McTimbits line, but I'm not going to. That would be wrong.
You can find out more in the chat logs. This is episode number 283. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
I won't be here. See ya.
Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Category 5 TV broadcasts live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on demand or through cable TV, check out the local showtimes in your area at category5.tv and find out when you can watch live and interact in the community chat room. Category 5 is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.